So good news. The Odyssey is currently loading, right? So I finally got it to sync to my YouTube channel using the Odyssey sync tool, which has worked like a charm. It works best with Firefox apparently, which I didn't have on my computer. So we'll see how that works. But yeah, so everything that I've made on YouTube should be on Odyssey real soon, right? It's currently still uploading. As far as like what's already on there, well, I was about to say that would have been a spanner in the works, but and even though it's uploading these things not in order, okay, maybe it's not doing that. That's gonna be a no. Hold on. 4 hours ago, 1 month ago. Okay, so this is a little bit out of order right now. Hopefully by the time it loads finally, it will be correctly ordered, right? But yeah, obviously this wasn't up here 6 days ago. This wasn't up here 15 days ago, 27 days ago. There's not a shot in hell that, like, again, well, no, because this says a month ago, and I'm going to assume that these are going to get slotted back here when this is done. But we'll see, right? I don't really know how Odyssey works, so that'll be interesting to see. But that being said, outside of that news, right? So if anyone has an Odyssey account, like in the Sky Bros community or any other creatives who might be watching this, let me know. Just drop your tag in the. Ooh, hold on, new video just loaded. So he didn't read the book, the fucking Mentis Wave video. Okay. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So if you got an Odyssey account, let me know in the comment section. So before we get on to the topic of today, I just want to say, I don't know how this guy, Mr. Dr. Vodi Baucham, I'm gonna go with Baucham. But anyway, because I haven't heard his last name yet. Flew under my radar, but as far as much as I've seen his lecture so far, solid person on this topic, right? So I'm definitely going to be looking into more of what he's put out there, because this is very well put together. Spartan Bot 1001. It's still Wednesday. Lamau title typos FTW. Is it? Wait, what? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to go and fix that later, right? Yeah. So I'm definitely gonna keep, pay more attention to him, because he just popped on my radar and I really have to see what he has to say. But today's subject matter, right, is actually something I saw earlier in a Kirsha video. Specifically, we're gonna focus on this section about artist called out by Yoklesh, right? Because this is right up my alley. And actually, hold on, let's go to X, and there's something I would like to have read out here as well, because I think this actually fits into the subject matter. So I guess while we wait for that to load, okay, so this is gonna be a pain in the ass, it seems, because okay, there we go. I was gonna say everything is a little slower because of the whole Odyssey download tool, but I'm the one who decided to again stream, even though I'm literally downloading my entire Goram YouTube page right onto another platform. Let's see. Okay, yeah, this will definitely be useful later in this conversation, but let's get on to the subject, right?
So we have another artist situation.
I forgot about this. I gotta move my character. There we go.
Yoklesh here, 7 hours ago, she said, commission from Neon Beat, it's been 4 years. The longest time you had to wait for something. She almost caught up to me. I'm sitting on like 6 years now, bro. And she said, I was so patient with Neon. I considered him a homie. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, but he gave up. He broke his promise. He didn't have a job. He's living from his family's and friends' money. And his manager doesn't know anything either except that info. So everyone who is still waiting for their commission until now won't get it back.
Yeah, and there are many such cases in the art world, to be perfectly honest, right? Like, this is not a unique occurrence. This is a very common occurrence in the art community. Uh, by the way, just let me know if there's anything wrong with like the stream, because if there is anything wrong with the stream, I can just put the background processes on pause and then start them back up, you know, after stream. But yeah, no, this is just this right here is a common occurrence when you're dealing with art commissions, right?
And here's a DM that she posted that says, "Hey there, redacted, hope you're well. Is there any news on Neon?" And the person replied, "Hello, he still has zero money to pay anyone. I don't know whether you believe me or not, but that's the only news update I have. I've heard rumors he's back with alts and doing comms and getting money, etc. LOL. None of this is true, but again, I have no way to prove it, and it's just my word." Yoklesh said, "What is my guy doing all day? Is he working at all? Is he living under a bridge? What's going on?" And the manager guy replied, "Depression maxing, begging family and friends for help, selling stuff."
I will say, I mean, if he is going through depression, if you know, that does suck, right? But I do have to say that, like, artists are like one of the few jobs where if you don't do your fucking job, right, people will show you sympathy, right? Just say it, right? It's like, oh, I didn't feel like it today. It's like, I could not imagine going working an hourly job and being, oh, I just didn't feel like it today. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? We need you here at 7, right? Or 6 or 4:30 in the morning, depending on when it is you work, right? And it's like, no, we need you here, right? You can work out your mental issues later. There are people who actually need you. And it's like, yeah, as an artist, especially if you're making assets for someone else, yes, there are people who are relying on you to actually perform your duty. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Mucho texto. Give me one moment. That's a lot. Mighty Dipex. Yo, bro, I just came across your stream and dropped a follow before heading out. I respect the hustle. You know, a big Twitch streamer with around 3 million followers who helps streamers grow. If you're serious about taking a channel, I'll consider it, okay? But, so, where was I? Oh, yeah. So it's like, especially if you're like an artist for like, working for someone, doing commissions. That commission is usually for something, right? I mean, yeah, sometimes some people just want to commission art because it's like they just want an art piece, and it's not as time sensitive then. But still, if you set a date, right, to actually like complete this artwork, that is like, again, a part of the business proposition. You give me this money for the commission, right? And I will give you an asset of some kind by a particular date, right? And if there are any delays, you communicate with me. That way I can schedule around that, right? And a lot of these people will just straight up not properly communicate when it is that they're actually, you know, when they take the commission. It's a total disrespect to the time, and this is the part that people don't really understand. And this is why it's like the artists themselves that are actually out there doing this shit are going to be the reason why AI art actually takes off, right? Is because if you have to negotiate constantly with someone not doing their fucking job, right? Not doing the thing you literally paid them to do. In this case, again, you know, 4 years waiting on this particular particular product, right? The fuck were you doing all that time? Why did this take you 4 years to deliver, right? Oh my god. But yeah, it's like, nah, again, it's like if you're being paid hourly and like someone takes the commission and then they just refuse to communicate with you about time delays, and then they're just very clearly not doing their fucking job, they're disrespecting your time, right? If you're being paid commission yourself and you commission something, they're insulting your productivity. If you're getting paid salary, they're insulting your availability. And if you're being paid patronage, then yes, the person doing this kind of shit is disrespecting your, the people's, your patrons' belief in your work. This is an actual deep cutting insult to take someone's money, which is a representation of, again, depending on what they're paid for, their time, their productivity, their availability, or again, the very, people's belief in their process, and then just like fucking not do anything related to the thing that they were actually hired for, right? Close Up Coffee Cup says, got blocked by an artist earlier today for saying they're an employment liability after they told that one game with the AI contest, nobody will trust you with their art in the future. Yeah, I could see that. A lot of these people are a lot of people are afraid that they're going to get displaced by the AI. The only people who are going to get displaced by the AI in the art community are the people who pull shit like this, to be perfectly honest, right? The people who don't actually do their fucking job. The people who actually do their job, right? Even if it takes a while, people will still pay for that, right? And in fact, actually, they might get paid more because they're human artists and they actually do the fucking job. But like, I grew up in a community of artists, right? I grew up in a family of artists. Like, again, my uncle was a professor of the arts, right? He also actually, you know, knew how to work. Right. My folks were, again, like, you know, I'm not going to say which ones in particular, right? I have some other family members who worked in like the sign business, right? So it's like they actually had to do things like graphic design. They had to do things like, you know, to figure out on like walls and vehicle wraps and all that stuff, right? And other than that, they also supported their local art community. So it's like, yeah, there are artists out there who work and they actually like know how to do their job, and they will actually still continue to get paid for doing their job. But the artist who just, you know, cruises through and that, like, again, people will put up with this shit. Nah, they're gonna get replaced, and to be perfectly honest, they kind of deserve to be replaced, right? Again, I can't think of any other occupation where I could get away with this kind of bullshittery without like severe consequences.
He did try to work the first year of his cancellation and he finished a lot of pieces, but it was too much pressure. I think he gave up. He just wants to pay off people.
And why couldn't you communicate this, right? If you can't finish the fucking like commission, which by the way, a commission is being paid for a finished product, then you give the person a refund and you be open about that, right? There's a certain degree of professionalism that should be going into the arts if you're going to be an artist by trade, right?
When he can make money again. Most of the pieces he finished in 2024, people didn't even post them. Made it seem like he didn't even try at all. And then everyone kept pressuring for their own piece at the same time with lawyer threats and whatnot, while also rejecting sketches. So at the end of 2024, I think he stopped trying. So many of those comms left like 80 or 50% done. He did get evicted once for not being able to pay, so almost under a bridge for a while. I can't really feel bad because it's like, if you're an artist and you're taking on all of these commissions, like, you have a responsibility to these people.
Yes, precisely, right? Oh my god. Yes, if you this subject gets me a little heated.
You have a responsibility to be professional and not take off more than you can chew, man.
Yes, your inability to schedule your own, to make your own schedule and abide by your own schedule is your own fault, right? Presumably you should be aware of what your capacities are. In fact, actually, that's the reason why I never did commission art, right? It's because people would, like, there have been there's been a couple times where people have tried to commission me for art, and I'm like, absolutely fucking not. First of all, I'm a lazy bastard, right? So, first of all, I'm a lazy bastard. Second of all, no, I'm bad at scheduling, so it's like, that would immediately lead to a bad situation. So it's like, there is a certain point in time where it's like you got to understand your own limitations and whether or not it's wise for you to take on extra work, right? Think about with the Nanolist situation, right? And how Nanolist apparently, according to her own, the docs that were leaked, would take on far more work than she was able to do, would take commissions and then would have to cancel commissions, which, by the way, again, wastes the time of her clients. Right? Yeah, sure. The clients may have wanted her, a Nanolist model and don't necessarily want to offend Nanolist because they still want to be able to potentially do work with her in the future because, her models are iconic. But at the same fucking time, right? If you couldn't schedule them in properly in the first place, why didn't you just tell them you couldn't schedule them in properly in the first place? That way they could have gone somewhere else and then done business with you at a later date, right? Again, it's just so frustrating because I have heard artists, and to be fair, some artists, the artists do have a point. Sometimes the customer does not respect the time that the artist requires to perform their function. That is fair. I've seen that happen. I've seen way more instances, though, of artists not respecting the time of their customer. Anyway, hello, Captain Rudy. Yes, I'm on my periodic grind, raging against the art community, right?
You should be finishing these things. When artists drag their feet and they take so many years to get shit out, it's not just them being an asshole. They're going to be harming the career of the YouTuber. They're going
Exactly, right? Especially, again, that's what I said. A lot of people who do commission requests, right? They're doing it for a particular purpose, right? Maybe they need that commission for, again, a project they're doing. Maybe even as a YouTuber or a VTuber, specifically, especially if it's a VTuber, right? Then that art could be very important to which is why they're paying you in the first place, right? To how they envision unrolling their character and, you know, actually doing their it's not reveal, but like that arc of their project, right? Because ultimately VTubing is storytelling of some of a kayfabe variety. But yeah, if you can't deliver the product by the time they requested it, they either have to move forward without your work, or they have to reschedule to accommodate your work. Now that's fine, again, if you say it beforehand, right? Then you tell them and communicate this beforehand. So then, for example, maybe a debut gets moved up, which would still be frustrating, but at least you're honestly communicating what is actually going on, right? Because again, I can tell you from experience, a lot of artists do not do, there are some that do, but not all of them do. But again, when you just do not communicate this shit, you're leaving your clients completely out to dry. And again, you're not respecting your clients. Why should your sorry. It also ruins it for like other artists, because like if your only experience with artists in like commissioning art is like shitty artists that actually don't fucking communicate with you when there's like things that are gonna be a setback, right? Then if that's your only experience with it, then it's going to taint your view of working with other artists, which inevitably will trickle down to hurt good artists who actually communicate with their customers. Right? So yes, good artists should absolutely be furious at behavior like this, because it will inevitably sour the culture about commissioning art, and it will impact you directly, because again, if they have to deal with this in the regular, why would they gamble on you, considering you could be someone like this, instead of just, again, generating it with AI, right? Now, granted, if you actually have a like reputation that precedes you for a good reason, then yeah, sure, people will take that risk and be like, you know what, I have heard good things about this person. I've heard good things about the customer service about this person. They won't say it that way, but that's going to be fundamentally what they're actually thinking about. But yeah, like, if you're actually a good artist with a good reputation for communicating with your clients, and you let your clients talk about how their experience with you, then yeah, you will definitely survive this whole AI art saga. But all of these quangos, as Captain Rudy rightly called them, right, who are taking people for a ride and not doing what they're supposed to be doing, they are going to make it harder for you too. It's not even the AI that's your problem. It is literally just quangos not wanting to do their fucking job. Anyway, so yeah, as Captain D said, sounds like a bunch of quangos that ought to commission these nuts. Fucking hell, mate.
To be losing opportunities for the YouTuber. They're going to be delaying merch, delaying concerts, delaying other things that were planned.
Exactly. And again, like art is like one of the few places I can think of where it's like, again, oh yeah, I don't really have any consequences for not doing the thing on time, right? It's like, oh, I can't really, I'm not in the mood for it. I'm not going to do it right now, right? I've literally heard people tell me about this kind of problem. And it's like, look, you can communicate with this to your client, and sure, maybe your client does have the window or the grace to be able to accommodate this, right? Yeah, that's fair, right? There is a risk of burnout as an artist when you're actually doing art for a living. Entirely fair. I can give that to you. But again, don't piss on my leg and then tell me it's raining, right? If you're just not doing your fucking job and then you're not communicating that to me, or you're lying to me about just not doing your job, which, by the way, is something that happened to Kirsha, they go fuck yourself, right? No, you absolutely deserve to be replaced by AI, if that's the case. Close-up coffee cup says lol. Yeah, right? Oh, my God. You gotta laugh, or I have to laugh or I'd cry, right?
It's like an absolute disgusting thing that happens where in the VTuber community, artists are treated as like exalted gods that can do no wrong, when so many people have all of these stories of artists like getting egotistical and fucking them over.
And that's precisely why, you know, they have those egos in the first place. No one wants to fucking be the person to call out the artist for not, especially if they're a good artist in the like what they produce. But if the artist themselves is actually causing problems despite what their actual output is, you can't really criticize them in the community, because then again, and it goes deeper than this, right? Because your artist is also like highly tied to your identity, right? Like your model mama is a big thing in the VTuber community, right? And I can tell you from inside, I can tell you a little bit of knowledge that I got from some insiders about this. A lot of these VTubers don't actually give a shit about the AI art thing, and they actually like some of the stuff that's being produced in the AI art community. Even if they don't think it's art, they can't say it though, because if they say something about it, their art mama will flip the fuck out and then try to take their model rights away. I have this on good authority, right? So these artists will absolutely fuck. I have a whole episode on that, by the way. Some of these artists will absolutely blackmail their, V2, what would you call it? Their art daughters or art sons into compliance for like this. This is why Powder was absolutely right when she told her the model artist, who, by the way, again sold the right to use that model to Powder. Told them to fuck themselves, right? It was in the contract. You don't get to change the contact post signing unilaterally. She told them to go fuck themselves, and yes, she was absolutely right to do that. Okay. Cat30 says this is why you don't pay more than a small deposit up front. The artist gets the rest when the job is done. Yes, I agree. This is normally how you do commission work, right? You get a little bit up front to prove that you can pay the commission in the first place, and then at the end of the commission, then you actually get paid the full price once you showed that you did the thing you were actually being paid for in the first place, right? Kura says, there he is. It's the stuff that happened earlier. Right? Yeah, fair enough, right? Artist in the streets, daddy in the sheet. God damn it. Help, chat is funnier than me.
Yo, Clash has good art. Yeah, she fucking does. Both on this level and the tweet being quote retweeted, people are finally coming together to call out the shitty artists and their shitty delivery schedule, or rather non-delivery. Well, that's what they're talking about with the cancellation in 2024. Neon was already called out in 2024 for not finishing commissions. The bar is can complete a project. The bar for artists is literally on the fucking floor.
Yeah, it really is. Like, yeah. I'm willing to put up with a lot of stuff. I have commissioned art before, and like I've had times where it's like I've commissioned art, and then like they take the money, and then like 6 months later they're like, oh shit, I forgot to do this thing, and I'm like, well, I'm glad I didn't need this for any professional capacity, right? I'm glad I was doing this for the love of the game. Kura says, well, in a Cosmic's case, it'd be Goblin in the sheets. God damn it. I can't help it. They're small and cute, and and I want to squish their cheeks, and then they bite me in the finger.
If you have like halfway decent art, you could literally just get your asshole stuffed with money, as long as you complete your shit.
Yeah, a little vulgar, but yes, Kirsha is absolutely right about this. People will take even mediocre art, that they will pay for that, as long as you actually fucking deliver.
That is literally the bar. Communicate and complete your fucking projects.
This is also why I think we're going to see a rise in like AI prompted assets in some of these things. Because the more these people actually like because like as someone who actually talks to a lot of people doing AI art, right? Not all of this stuff is simple. Some of these some of the more proficient and like beautiful pieces of AI art take a nightmarish strategy in like prompting. It is so actual. I don't understand it. The prompting thing just eludes me. So maybe I'm just retarded, right? But it is a little beyond me at the point. I do not understand how they're getting some of these outputs, right? Especially the people doing this from local gen, and I'm like, I've not a fucking clue. I'm still trying to figure out how to get my local gen to even get a decently humanoid looking feature, right? But anyway.
The bar is do your job. It's so low, and yet artists cannot do it. Do your job.
This is the problem when you have like sensitives with this stuff. God damn it, Captain Rudy. But yeah, this is the problem when you have like sensitives. It's like, oh, I'm not who are controlled by their passions doing this kind of stuff, right? Some of the best artists I've ever met are like weren't very passionate people. They were just actually dedicated to the work.
So hard to do, it seems, right? Now that's what I call direct deposit, and if you can draw that, you'll get even more. Yes, exactly. Like Neon had a very distinct art style. He had amazing art. That's why everybody wanted to go to him and get models from him. He was very well wanted. But it's like, even if you're very well wanted, if you know you can only complete a certain amount of commissions in a certain amount of time, you shouldn't take on more than that, you know? And it's like, that's the problem I had with one of the illustration artists. I've always said the only problems I've ever had have been with model artists. All of my illustration artists, bar one, have been absolutely wonderful to work with. I've loved every single illustration artist. They've been wonderful.
I have the opposite experience. I've had bad experiences with oh, thank you, Devil's Blight 86. I'm glad that you find value in my ramblings in this. But yeah, I have the exact opposite experience. Granted, I've never had any model commissions, right? I've never commissioned any models, but I have commissioned people who do illustrations, and yeah. I'm just saying, right? There are definitely hurdles with that too. I will say, best commissions in general come from Indonesia, right? You commission a Japanese artist, you commission an American artist, all kinds of headache that you're about to get into. Normally speaking, there are exceptions, but you commission an Indonesian artist, and for the most part, from what I understand, it's just like, all right, it's time to get to work. I gotta make that money. Right? Throw some shekels my way. I know shekels aren't the Indonesian currency. I just don't remember what it is. Captain Rudy says, to be honest, to the artists, so there is that risk that not accepting payment up front will result in them not getting paid. So where's the middle ground? Oh, very, very, very simply, you don't get the finished product unless the money is put up. Right? Like there is that, right? But yeah, so but then I guess the counter you could say there is that if I give you, because you could give a like proof of finished product without giving the finished product, right? Like for example, if you're asking for a digital illustration, right? I could take a picture of the completed project from a camera, so it's a picture of the screen, which is already gonna like detract from the final product, because if you've ever taken a picture with a camera from a screen, it's not necessarily, you know, it's not as good as the final product, right? So it's like, okay, yeah, the product is finished. Pay and then you get the final product, right? So that's how that would work. Like if you were really worried that this person wasn't gonna like actually like pay you, why would you even take the commission, right? That's not a very common issue here. Oh, excuse me.
Except
because a lot of these artists, they don't do a partial and then full. They do the full up front, which is a problem of its own. Because again, the full up front is to avoid exactly what you're talking about, Rudy. But it means that ultimately speaking, when a lot of these people don't finish their commissions, it just means that again, you're out all that money and you've got nothing.
And the one illustration artist was a couple that, and this should have been a red flag, so, you know, my fault on even commissioning them in the first place. They had their schedule, like, booked up almost a year out.
Yeah, that is a bit of a... I mean, granted, it, like, some artists can actually do this, because some artists do understand, like, how to properly allocate time. But in my experience, the vast majority of artists do not really understand how to actually schedule. So yeah, if I saw that, I would definitely probably look somewhere else first.
And I was like, well, I don't really need it until like this point, and you have this one slot in this 1 month to have it finished in, so like, can I have that slot?
Oh, actually, I need to bring up the fact that she brought this up earlier, because I was talking about like how you could still have problems with illustration artists, but fucking model artists. I wonder if there's a reason why like she had the problem with the model artists. Because as someone who's never commissioned a model before, and I don't intend to commission a model, right? Or at least not from someone I don't know. I wonder what the difference is there, right? Is it just that like there's less model artists, or I don't know. That's actually, I'm gonna have to ask around about that. I genuinely don't know.
And is Yoklesh in trouble? No. Yoklesh is calling out Neon.
To be clear, right?
And so like I commissioned them, and I had to get on their ass because they kept like not giving updates on it. And when they would give updates, it was like, instead of being drawn, they had like clipped pieces from magazines and put it on the artwork. And I was like, that's not what I'm paying you for. I'm paying you a commercial use fee as well. And if you're taking assets from elsewhere, I don't know where you're taking them from, and I can't use that commercially. Like, yeah,
because they don't, or if they're taking the assets from somewhere else, then do they even own the assets, right? Does that IP go to someone else? So yeah, this is all just a nightmare scenario, especially if you're trying to get something for commercial purposes, right? Again, you would imagine that a certain degree of professionalism would have prevented this entire problem, but it's not a lack of professionalism on Kirsha's side. It's a lack of professionalism on the side of the artist she's dealing with, right? Very big problem.
I'm paying you for commercial work. Please fucking do it. You had an artist who didn't complete a commission of yours for 5 years after she went into a depression spiral and quit art, and then one day posted you the pic and never heard from them again. Honestly, it's experiences like that that make people advocate for AI art.
Yeah, and again, it's not just me who says that. I've had very few experiences like this. I don't commission art very often, and I'm not going to be commissioning art for any time in the foreseeable future. But yeah, I've heard all different kinds of horror stories about, like, again, dealing with maliciously incompetent artists, right? Because I would say that, again, like 5 years of not doing the thing, that at that point, that's malicious, right? Even if it is part of a depression spiral, that's fucking malicious, right? Let's see. Jimmy Dean 7219 said, "Dang, Kirsha React. This should be good. I'll check this out in the morning. Happy streaming." Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, it's just gonna be this one segment in the Kirsha stream, right? But you know what? Maybe I can do the segment before this too, because actually I could probably make a point about that. But yeah, part of the reason I got back into this was to supplement what Kirsha and Leaflet were talking about in the first place. So, you know, kind of back to the original goal of the channel, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, my first 3D model artist, they were a friend, and I loved their work. I was the first like 3D that they had made. They wanted to get into making models, but then I guess they just like stopped wanting to work on art stuff. And I was constantly having to hammer at them like, hey, do you have an update? Hey, is there anything finished? Hey, what's going on? If you don't want to work on my model, please just let me know and I'll go find a different artist. Like, I just need to know. And
again, that's exactly what I was talking about beforehand, right? The inability to communicate actually causes real interference with the real goals of the customer, because again, they're commissioning you for art for some purpose. Granted, maybe it's just they want to support you, right? Because they like your work. Or maybe it's, hey, it's a nice thing to put on my wall. That's also a possibility, right? But it's also entirely plausible that if they're commissioning you as someone who makes assets for a particular industry, such as, again, a model, a model asset, artist or an illustration artist, then they're probably using it for some commercial purpose. And if you can't deliver on the product in the allotted time, you are absolutely fucking up their schedule, not just yours, right? You are absolutely derailing your customer as well as them. And actually, this is why Kirsha in her talked about that one thing where she was like, going forward, she's going to have a clause in the contracts that, she's going to have with artists that, like, if they can't complete the commission on time and they haven't communicated with her to, again, move the due date, then it will incur a fine on the part of the artist not completing the commission. And I'm like, I think that's entirely fair, right? Because you're costing her opportunities. You're costing her, again, time. Like again, in a very real sense, you're taking money from her as the result of you not being able to do your job.
They would keep being like, no, I want to work on it. I want to do this. I want to get this done. Like, it's a fun project. And I'm like, okay.
It's a fun project, but I can't finish it. Right? Like, again, you could tell someone, like, look, I'm burned out, or like, look, things happened. I'm going to have to delay the project. But you actually have to explain why the project is being delayed. And again, like, you actually have to communicate. Right, you can't just say, "Oh no, I'm gonna keep doing it," and then just like not do it for like a month, and then 2 months, and then a year. Right?
You want to do it, please do it. But then they would keep opening their commissions and doing commissions for other people and completing those.
Oh, that's a cunt move.
Commissions while not doing any work.
This is like fucking what was it? Crunchyroll? Like Crunchyroll buying up interspecies reviewers and then like dubbing one episode and then not even releasing that dub. Just like, you know what, we're gonna hold the intellectual property rights so no one else can use it. Right? What a cunt fucking move. That's basically what the commission version of this is right here. Is, oh yeah, I'm gonna keep you locked in this commission, but then I'm not gonna actually complete the commission, so you don't get to go to anyone else for the commission. What? Oh my god. Kura says, at some point here soon, these artists, quote unquote, are going to have people that were on their side, quote unquote, immediately say, you know what, fuck you, I'm going to AI. Only then, more and more dominoes will fall systematically, and they will only have themselves to blame, reality-wise anyway, in their delusions. It'll be AI's fault. Yeah, I think, well... some of these people will never blame them for ideological reasons, right? The arts are kind of important for the Gramscian project because art is a concretization of a metaphysic, right? A view of man and his life. So if you control the art, then you can control the myth. You can control the myth of the culture, right? And that gives you a lot of cultural power. This is one of the reasons why the conservative movement, oftentimes, and the like right libertarian movement, often struggle. Is because they don't really engage in cultural production in any meaningful way, right? So it's always a very uphill battle. But anyway.
On my model, and I'm like, hey, I can see you doing this. I don't think that's fair of you.
But that's also why they hate AI, is because especially if you can local gen, then again, it helps for the decentralization of of cultural production. Captain Rudy said they did that with Fillion. Hers was a free model, but still, I think part of it with her was like also that like it was a free model, but in the terms of service for using the model, you weren't allowed to monetize or sell the model, right? Because it was free, right? It wouldn't make any sense for like Fillion to be able to sell the model if the original IP maker wasn't selling the model, right? Not that I believe that intellectual property is a consistent or like reasonable position to have, but I'm just saying if we're going to operate under intellectual property laws, then Fillion did kind of just like, again, step in it herself in that particular situation. Let's see. Close up Coffee Cup says that's why we shouldn't try to convince them on AI. Yeah, I mean, you can't really convince the Luddites. Fushizi says, sup, nerd. Fair enough, right?
To be taking on new work and completing new work while leaving mine in fucking limbo.
I do want to see how well Kairo Chikage gets at like AI rigging. That actually is an interesting idea, because don't just go for the artists, go for the riggers too, right? Because some of those riggers are absurd. But yeah, sure, fair enough. Captain Rudy says, but why couldn't let's see, hold on. Why couldn't she just buy the rights to the model? Why go for the rebrand or for a rebrand? It's a good question. It's a good question. Maybe this did result in some kind of legal trouble that she did what just wasn't making public, which is fair. I wouldn't exactly make that public either. But that might have been one of the reasons why for the rebrand. It could also just be that she wanted to change up like what she was doing and do something slightly, do something different. Kind of like with Saba, where it's like she'd been Gura for so long, but she also then wanted to do something that she herself made, not something that was made for her. And so like she rebranded from Gura as Saba, right? That could be the thing. Kuro says creativity ultimately leads to vanity and falsity in the illusion of power, while somewhat being true, ultimately false godhood. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Again, I did point out the idea of like, again, I think you know the example I'm talking about, Kuro, but there are certain VTubers that have talked to some of the AI bros about how they actually like their work, but they can't say anything about it because their artist will pull their rights to their model, or you know, and also their chat will turn on them as well. So it's like, yeah. A little bit of a god complex there, right? How dare you transgress against our divine decree, right? Fushizi says filthy riggers, right? God. Okay, that's pretty funny. God damn. Racist Scooby-Doo.
And I eventually talked to somebody in my community who also ghosted me. I don't know what the fuck happened to him. I talked to someone in my community.
The ghosting thing also happens quite a bit too. And it's like, it's not just that they won't communicate with you, but if you fucking reach out to them, they won't get back to you. It's like, well, now what the fuck do I do, right?
He was a 3D artist, like, in the games industry, and I gave him the files from my artist who had been working on this thing for, like, a year and a half, and he was like, yeah, they put about 10 minutes of work into this, and then he brought up, like, whatever fucking 3D program it is, and he did the same exact thing they did in, like, 10 minutes. And I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself, dude.
Yeah, I'd heard the story beforehand, and I was like, you waited how long for 10 minutes of work? What in the absolute fuck? But yeah, honestly, that is an appropriate crash out right there. I would be fucking livid if I had found that out. But the Mind of Raw, hello, says rigging is a bitch and a half to do. I know I've done it in 3D before. I am aware. I've seen riggers do like live process streams where they actually like talk to the chat while like doing the rigging work, and it's like, okay, yeah, I can see why the costs are a bit steep with this, because again, you got to literally draw everything, right, in every angle. But yeah. I can see why the cost is so high, but at the same time, it's like, if your rigger isn't talking to you, or your rigger is like ghosting you, and it's like, and not completing things on time, it's just basically the same issue that we have with artists in other parts of the art field. Captain Rudy said, I knew a rigger when I worked construction. Cool guy. See? What a dad joke, right?
Thanks for clarifying that it was model stuff specifically, and everything else has been good, because you were having a quiet spurgat about how whenever someone does art for you, we get to wonder how long they were sabotaging you. No, I always say that, because I have worked with some fucking amazing artists, and I never ever want them to ever be seen poorly, because they've done amazing work, and I hate when even they get attacked by like the shitty leftists who want to shit on me. It's like,
yeah, I mean, to be fair, we did talk about, like, again, how you know, art mamas and rigging mamas will sometimes, again, blackmail VTubers into certain positions. Well, it turns out the left will sometimes try to blackmail artists. Well, not sometimes. It happens all the time, right? The only reason my family, and like the right-wingers in my family who were artists, got away with the shit they were doing was because they were doing things for the local art community that, you know, benefited people on, you know, both sides of the aisle. And it turns out leftists, when it, you know, aren't exactly going to stand on, you know, principle, if it means standing on principle is going to shoot them in the foot, right? So, again, they don't really, because as we know, you know, the old Vosh quote, right? Their principle isn't, you know, their principle is winning. So, you know, but, let's see. Kura says, some of my best friends are riggers. I'm married to a rigger. Oh my god, man. How? Oh my god, y'all are gonna get me banned the day that I'm actually gonna get the criteria for a Twitch affiliate. Captain Rudy said, if the leftists want to shit on people, tell them to have some fun with it and do the Cleveland steamroller. God damn it! Right, we're getting into some Beelzebub territory right here, right? How dare you insult our gods? Now shit on that idol. Right? That was a real thing, by the way. That was a real thing that some of the Arab polytheists did back in the day.
you can You can fucking hate me, and I hate when you lie about me, and I'll fucking call you out and use you as content, but don't fucking insult the artist, dude. The artist did good work, they did a good job, and they have amazing art, and that's why I've paid them.
Yeah, but the thing is they're not towing the line for cultural production in the favor of the Marxists. So again, that's why they attack them, right? Is because they are aware of how important to cultural production the arts actually are, which is why they fight tooth and nail to undermine anyone that isn't part of their particular, the cultural line. Hold on. Close Up Coffee says, I was wondering about the 3D modeling thing. I've seen the Blender artists make amazing things in like an hour. What is it with the VTubers? I think so. With the VTubers, it's not just making the models; it's also rigging the models. And to be perfectly honest, I don't think a lot of these people actually use Blender. I think they use other programs specifically for this stuff. I don't really know much about that. I'll have to look into that. Kuro says, lol, reading your head first, save yourself. Fair, right? Captain Rudy points out the obvious. Where's the fun in that, right? How am I gonna have my PewDiePie moment if I read first, right? Okay, so as far as the art stuff goes, yeah, that's what Kirsche had to say, but this actually reminded me of something that was posted earlier by Brewer. So let's read this, because I actually think he's basically spot on about this. So Brewer has this little story of his. He says, I'm a software engineer, an indie game developer, and 100% disabled veteran on a limited budget because due to my condition, I can no longer be consistently employed. I used to be very anti-AI. That all changed when I realized the overall artist culture was okay with constant delays, refusal to work, and overcharging, underperforming, and scams. Every single, okay, maybe they're not, artists aren't really okay with scams. Like, there are plenty of, like, leftist art videos out there which will try to tell you how to spot scams, so they're obviously not okay with scams. But yeah, he is right about this. They will absolutely justify constant delays, they will justify refusing to work, they will justify overcharging, and then they will justify underperforming. Even in the Nanolist document, right? The fucking thing again with this whole Cinder situation, you go in there and read it and it's like, oh my god, this lady does not have a work ethic, right? Anyway, Close Up Coffee says, they know they need the art for culture, but they forgot they also have to be entertaining. Yes. Right? Oh my god. The whole thing is like, oh, it's for a modern audience. The modern audience doesn't exist, but they know the modern audience doesn't exist. That's not the point. When they say it's for a modern audience, they don't mean for an audience that exists now. What they're saying is they want to subvert the culture so that all that the new generations will know growing up is the modern audience slop. That way, that's all, since that's all they know, that will become their nostalgia over time, and it will become the new norm, right? It's an alchemical process. It's like trying to turn lead into gold, or in this case, gold into lead. It's not a process of like albedo and rubido, it's a process of nigrido. But let's see. Those are the alchemical terms, by the way, right? So it's like rubido is in the process of like making the philosopher's stone, albedo is in the process of like making, lead into gold, and then nigrido is the process of essentially the inverse, right? Deteriorating something from a higher state to a lesser state. And they're all associated with colors. Rubido is with red, albedo with white, nigrido with black, and all these are also stages in the process of making the philosopher's stone too. So I know a little bit about alchemy. Let me see. I worked on my dream game for a year, during which I reached out to the moots and 14 artists for me to do commission. Many refused, even when I said I could wait for them to have open slots. Many tried to overcharge based on prices for comparable works, gave me constant excuses why they could not get it on time, all the while taking on more commissions, or flat out scam me by providing examples where their work did not measure up to it. Yeah, this is also very common, right? Again, providing works that don't measure up to like what is actually produced. And sometimes you can tell like right off the bat where it's like, okay, these don't look like they come from the same portfolio, right? Let's see. A few of those artists who refused were friends I had known for years. Once they found out I was using AI, they ended the friendships. Yeah, that's about right. Took them 2 months to figure it out, even though I was posting a lot about it. And again, not they weren't very attentive then. In the end, I switched sides because of the artist culture. I decided that I was not going to sacrifice my own creative vision, since the same anti-AI artists refuse either work with me or underperform. And again, here's the thing, right? These people will refuse to work with you if they disagree with your vision, right? This is actually a problem I found when, like, in creative writing, right? It's like everyone who's in the creative writing workshop wants to critique your work, not on what you're trying to do as like the standard, but will critique your work in the sense of like, oh yeah, this is what I want it to become. It's like, well, I don't care what you want it to be. I have a particular thing I'm trying to do. Does my form and structure and my psychology and my use of signs and symbols actually forward my, like, again, like push to this idea? And a lot, this just flew over the heads of many people when I went to, again, creative writing workshops. So yeah, this whole idea of like refusing to work not just with you if you have like differing opinions, but also refusing to actually understand what the goal of a project is also really, really common. Okay. Mind of Raw said, I thought it was from, was you process it from black to white, then to red. Yes, yes, it is. You go from nigrido to albedo to rubido, yes. You could theoretically do the inverse, right? You could do, there's nothing preventing you from doing rubido to albedo to nigrido. In fact, actually decomposition, which is what this would be, right? It would ultimately like be a form of decomposition, is one of the 12 primary alchemical processes, if I remember correctly. That and things like putrefaction and, you know, anyway. Speaking of the modern audience, here's a Rev video. Oh god. Rev usually has some pretty interesting videos. Let me put that into the list. Let's see. And Close Up Coffee says, game dev requires splitting your time between so many different things. I'd be so furious having to babysit these children on the side. Yeah, again, totally agree. But again, it's the unprofessionalism and the character of the artists who are actually promoting AI art. Just saying. All right. Imagine being so spiteful and rageful that you end up creating the very thing that you seek to destroy, right? Let's see. If you antis want to win this, you better fix your own culture before attacking us. You are fighting the wrong battles of your war. You are not going to change our mind, and I don't seek to change yours. But perhaps you need to try to understand why many of us swapped sides. And again, like, I can draw, right? I can draw. I've proven it. I've had multiple times where, like, I was responding to someone post that stupid meme of the, you know, the guy, the artist looking with contempt and like disgust with a pencil in his hands, like, learn to draw. And like I was the one who started telling people, hey, if you're an AI artist, do not post your AI art as a response here. Post your actual drawings, your actual paintings, your, like, the things that you did with your own hands that wasn't, like, prompted on a keyboard, to get him to shut up, right? Because the whole point that these people don't understand is that learn to draw and learn to prompt are a false dichotomy. You can actually learn how to do both, and you probably should learn how to do both. And as a result, you know, we had that issue where it's like, again, and I had this thing, I only had ever one person respond to me. And funny enough, I think they were actually using AI art, right? I had one person only respond to me after posting my actual art and saying, I did learn how to draw, right? You learned how to prompt, right? Just like pointing out, not mutually exclusive. Almost no one fucking interacted with that because they knew that it was a proof by demonstration. But anyway, so let's see. I tried for a full year. I played by your rules, got burned, so I changed the rules I follow. Your peers caused this change within me. Rightfully so, right? You saw again, change in response to stimuli. It's a natural capacity of living organisms, right? Let's see. Also, keep in mind, you antis are the minority. We pros are also the minority. The majority are those who don't care about AI. They only want to be entertained. You are fighting a losing battle. I highly suggest that you put aside your feelings aside and try to look at the situation objectively. well, they're subjectivists, so it's not going to happen. If you can't do that well, that might just be a major reason you are an anti. And hold on, what's this? Oh, okay. A wild Iraqi's just wilding out right now. I love this post and this meme. Both are related. Hi, can I commission you? No, because you believe thing and I hate you. Like, okay. Yeah, no. You know, okay, yeah, that's actually pretty spot on. Mind of Raw says, "Oh, I do that every single time I run across one of those." Yeah, I think you've noticed that too, right? Oftentimes when you post your actual like hand drawn art, these people refuse to respond to you because again, that puts you outside of this false dichotomy, right? Let's see. Kura says the problem is they don't listen and never intended to listen to those of us who also do art the original way. Yeah, again, because it's not really about like again interfacing with reality as much as it is again. A lot of these people are either ideologically or emotionally motivated, right? Not everyone is doing this because they have some grand idea of like a Marxist vision of the future, right? Some of these people are genuinely just afraid because they don't understand like the new technology, which happens every time a new technology develops, but I digress. And so it's like you can't really argue with someone who is like who has like escalated beyond a certain point until they are de-escalated, right? I've had to work with clients, and de-escalation was one of the things that I had to like learn how to do. Wasn't a very fun job, but yeah. There's a certain point at which like it becomes basically a like a fear response and a survival response, right? And these people, a lot of these people do have like a survival response here. It's like they're going to take away, they're taking our gerbs, right? to quote, you know, South Park. But that's a real concern some of these people have. Now, my thing is like, I don't think anyone who is doing anything particularly good in the first place, like objectively speaking, has anything to worry about assuming that they actually respect time, you know, or, you know, the money of the people that are actually commissioning them to do these things. But again, I digress, right? Captain Rudy says, sounds like someone needs to entertain them with their stimulus package. Right? Fair enough, right? So that's my thoughts on the whole, again, artist issue that Kirsha was talking about, because this has been going on for a while. Captain Rudy says, see the party animals page on the right? They put a poll up about AI. You may or may not enjoy the thread below the poll. Oh, I'm aware of. You know what? Actually, that's a good point. Maybe I should actually go to the original poll, right? Hold on. Good point actually bringing that up, right? Let's see. Kuro says they are literally literally mind graped by ridiculously dangerous and self-destructive ideologies, not unlike 12ers and apocalypses. Yes. Yeah, I would agree, right? A lot of these people. Okay, I thought I was crashing for a moment. Hopefully that was understandable because my computer was crashing hard, right? Maybe I shouldn't be having Odyssey run the Odyssey sync in the background, right? But it synced 38 of my videos up to the new channel, to the Odyssey channel. So let's see. So yeah, here was the basic poll. We would like to leave the next step up to the community. Please vote on what we should do. And yeah, basically, everyone in the community just had a fucking blast here. You had like Ben Greenha. I have no idea how to say that. I don't know. Sounds Scottish to me. But so he feels anti-AI brigaders are review bombing party animals. Be pro AI. Protect cute game characters. Oh wait, hold on. That bunny is playing a dangerous game. He just posted in, right? Oh god. Okay. The Odyssey thing is slowing down my video again, my stuff again. Yeah, the capybara again. Ben. Oh man, Ben posted a lot of this. Holy crap. Okay. Ah, there we go. We finally found one that's not Ben. It's the bloop. Stop anti-AI bullies from abusing this shark girl. Okay, that's funny. Wait, bloop is a shark? Okay, you're in here too. Dot Pocket, hold the line. Oh yeah, the seals. What in the hell is going on with my browser? Why is it taking so long to load this thing so I can unload it? Anyway, oh my god, Ben really did just fucking spam this shit. Feeble Mind says caving to this shit is that'll murder your game. These people literally don't even play your game. Yeah, I would agree. Carol Chikage, hold, and it's like a bunch of little. What the fuck is going? Hold on, I'm gonna pause this. I have a sneaking suspicion if I pause this and then restart this, that should fix that problem. And if it doesn't, I'm going to make myself look like an ass. Apparently, there was something more going on than that. Oh, I know who Ben is. I know who Ben is. It's just, I don't know how to pronounce his name. Hello, Nicola. We are apparently experiencing some technical difficulties with X, which I just turned the Odyssey thing off. Why is it still lagging? I don't have any background processes that are taking up all that much data now. What the fuck? Close Up Coffee said, the arguments the other day with people arguing Gen AI is bad, but Neurosama is good was funny. The arguments are not very well reasoned. They just have goals and they fit whatever arguments to the... Yeah, and the thing is, like, Neuro is very obviously a form of... She's an LLM and a generative AI, right? So, again, it's real hypocrisy there. So yeah, you got Cairo Chikage. Oh, now everything loads correctly, right? Nicola says, is your internet going out? Hopefully not, right? Why, is my stream bad? Let's see, we got Psychro. Oh my god, that's horrifying. Keen, hold the line! I didn't know Bloop was a shark. Mr. Joshi, the AI Trump. You got Psychro, Eva, the more Psychro. Let's see who is Dot Pocket. I'm looking for your Silas Frostrun. Did he change his? Did he change his thing? Oh, he did. More Ben, more AI Trump, right? Let's see. Here we go. Let's see. Kura says, do not take AI out of the contest. Why listen to a bunch of Luddites that, 1, wouldn't support you even if you do, 2, don't ever stop at one request, 3, don't even understand how AI even works, 4, most of us draw or paint and use the AI to animate, so their point is literally inaccurate. You're right about that, right? Uh-oh. Night Owl probably usually says something pretty interesting. You've been brigaded by a bunch of antis. I'd be willing to bet a lot of your anti-AI votes are uninformed haters. Yeah. Yo, oh my god, Shayla. Oh my goodness. So Captain Rudy, oh, hold on, they got more in the chat. Captain Rudy says, you may look like an ass, but you'd be at least look like a cute ass. What the fuck? Okay, fair enough. Right. Captain Rudy says, Ked, G-San, and other Skybro went to town on one of the Quangos in the thread here. It was a bloodbath, and then Mind of Raw says, I have a post on there. Oh god. Hold on. See, Roboticus Prime says, terminally online anti-AI folks are not your paying customers. They never have and never will be. Do not bend the knee. I agree with him. Let's see. Now I'm looking for Mind of Raw. And, hold on. Let's see. Fucking Mizuki. Don't try to pull one of Marek Timinski here. You guys' situation are not the same. I don't know who that is. I don't know who General Gravy is. That's actually a new name. Let's see. Wait, here's the thing you were probably talking about. Don't let the modern day Luddites win. Anti-AI people. Quota. In quotation marks, right? Won't support the game anyway. We'll want more while contributing nothing. Don't ever do anything anyway. Are mostly bot accounts. Well, he's not wrong. Right? I'm looking for your thing, Mind of Raw. Where? Oh god. Time to use up all the water on the AI. That's actually a really funny thing. Holy crap. Lady Wasabi, what did she say? The anti-AI crowd will move on to the next outrage next week. Your actual long-term supporters and creators will remember whether you stood by them or not. A lot of your supporters are the pro-AI. Possibly. I mean, I do have a sneaking suspicion the poll that we saw earlier was definitely, what would you say, botted? Like, I have a strong suspicion about that. Great Green Goo says, I hate when people... Oh, well, there goes my... Oh, no, I'm back. Great Green Goo says, I hate when people downvote a Steam game because they dared to use AI backgrounds in menus. Yep. Oh my god, that whole Iron Mouse situation where it's like, this is the most petty bullshit I've seen in quite a while. Hello, Road, right? Kuro says, understand I was told to keep my leash on, but loose. I didn't go full Kura. I can tell, right? Captain Rudy says, Myrek Tyminski, Tyminski, is that a Polish name? I don't know. It looks like some kind of Slav name. Is the CEO of a game developer company based out of Poland. Oh, well, I got my ability to guess people's ethnicity by their fucking name remains unchallenged, I guess, right? Road says we'll have to lurk about to work. Oh, that's fine. That's fair. Have a good work weld. Let's see. Let's see. Mind of Raw says it's probably going to be way down on the list, but yeah. Okay, let's see if we can find it. Ooh, Iron Tiger is in here. I like his work, actually. I'm sorry, but as an award-winning pencil and paper artist with an art degree, the anti-AI BS drives me up a wall. People who have zero talent and zero understanding of what art is should not have the power to keep the art industry. I would agree. Most of these people do not understand what the function of art is or what it is. They see it as an instrumental thing, right? When it's like, no, art is like the only thing where its only purpose is to be contemplated, right? It serves no other purpose than that. Anyway, let's see. Art is about being able to communicate a vision. Yes, the concretization of a metaphysic. The tool used for that does not matter. Again, it's like what Ohio Birdman said. Doesn't matter if it comes from a GPT, if it can reach out and touch you and me. Don't let bullies, activists, and Luddites stop you or anyone else from having fun. That's fair. Where the hell are you? Oh, Ted Fatash is in here. Push more AI and other new developing technologies to help improve efficiencies, which will bring costs down, making the game more accessible to all and avoid the developer crunch due to less labor required. And here's another thing, right? Okay, here's another thing, right? I pointed this out before that like the left-wing art community actually like benefits from the immiseration of artists, because again, oh, hello Eustace, right? Hold on, we got raiders. Hold on, where was this? Eustace Useful is raiding with a party of 4. Hello, Eustace, right? Thank you for the raid. Yeah, we're on the tail end of this episode and probably going to record a second one after this. So I'm just looking for Mind of Raw's post on here. The small Rida. Fair enough, Eustace. Right? Penny Bloomfield. Oh, hello, Penny. Right? Raid from Eustace. I'm glad to see you here as well. I didn't expect that, right? Zakura says, "Tis the TCA at Kura." I think Kura might be having a stroke. He's starting to speak Eustace-ese, right? Fair enough. Captain Rudy says, "What will Iron Mouse do when all gamers are made with AI? Just not do sponsored streams anymore? Games are, yeah, fair enough, right?" Yeah, it was moral grandstanding in my opinion. I don't know if Iron Mouse actually believed what she said, but maybe she did. Oh wait, I was supposed to read the Ted Fatash thing. Oh wait, I already did. Oh yeah, I was on the immiseration of the artists thing. Yeah, so the left-wing art community actually benefits from the immiseration of artists, right? The reason they benefit from the immiseration of artists is because if the artist itself, again, the producer of cultural production, is like immiserated, that can be the basis of fostering revolutionary spirit. But if the artist is able to actually find a good life for themselves, right? Actually able to make of their life something that is good, fosters eudaimonia, then there is no point for the revolutionary spirit, right? Why? Because they actually like their life that they're living. So the Marxist actually has an incentive to promote the misery of the artist so that they can ferment the revolutionary spirit. So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that, again, they don't really think about this thing. It's like, oh, you don't like crunch culture? Well, why don't you use AI to help alleviate the issue of crunch culture? Well, it's because, again, the starving artist, what is it? Starving saints are useful saints to those who profit from their woes, right? And it's not the right who profits from their woes. It is the left. Let's see. Nicola says, good kitty. Fair enough, right? Eustace very much is. Penny Bloomfeld says, probably not here for long. Well, I'm glad you stopped by anyway, right? Like, it still means the world to me that anyone stops by, even if just for a brief moment. Captain Rudy says, well, she said it was her team who told her there was no AI, so was her team lying to her? Did the devs lie to the team, or was there something lost in translation? I don't know, and I don't think we're ever going to really get an answer to that. Let's see. That's Little Reaper. Oh, Eustace is on here. Keck to antis are in full force. What a bunch of morons. Fair enough. Ooh, pseudo. Like Father Lupus. Jayla again. Yuna does stuff. Kitsuragi. Let's see. Pupela. Oh, here we are. Mind of Ra. We finally found you, Mind of Ra. Oh my god. That took a little longer than expected. Let's see. Close Up Coffee Cup said, they only really care about pictures and videos anyway. AI code is full steam ahead, and some of them will even say it's fine for writing code. It's just a personal beef they had. Leaflet pointed this out, and actually I was gonna save this for like a weekend stream, actually, because I did actually listen to Leaflet and Ember Paradox talk about AI art and how, again, like most of these AI artists don't have an issue with AI writing. They just have an issue with the AI doing the art. And they're like, oh, interesting. It's bad when you get replaced, but it's not bad when other people get replaced. Oh, interesting. It's almost as if this is completely self-serving and not actually backed by any kind of ethical principle, right? Let's see. Hello, Justice 400. Captain Rudy says, I added a comment to that post as well. Oh my god, now we gotta find that. So now that we've had Mind of Ra, right? The SOS, save the AI kittens. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what this game is, but I am convinced I have to look into it now. I might have to play this game on stream. Kura Onigarashi says, 3, 2, 1, kick. Right. Alright, now I gotta see. Oh, Runia's on here. Oh, I saw this one earlier. That one was funny. Let's see. AI feels pain too. Stop the suffering. Oh my god. They're all just taking the piss out of these people at this point. That's so great. Glacier Wolf, Taro Dravenox, Opal Usagi, a Gaming Syndicate, Pseudo Gray. Let's see. Lily Fernwood. My god, man. Antibot. Let's see. David of the Light, more Yuna, Robotics Prime, DJ Nathaniel. Oh my god, that's actually really funny. Hold on, let's see if they answered this. Hey Grok, how many of the votes in these polls are bots? Hello, Secret Squirrel, Squirrel 0016. I have access to. Oh, that's a boo. I was really hoping that they would be able to say something. I remember you sending me this, Captain Rudy. Obted sends her regards. Oh, thank you. Wait, hold on. The people are talking for a moment. Justice 400 says, my sister is a writer and hates AI entirely. I argue with her all the time over it. She hates that I use it. Fair enough. No, okay, it wasn't you who said that, but someone else was telling me a similar story. Kubcon Queso says, carried over from Eustace, only seeing you thanks to Skybrowse. Hell yeah. Oh, thank you. Right. Yeah, I was kind of taken aback when I was actually put in Crybrowse. Fucking did not expect it. Right. I was doing the commentary on the videos for the love of the game. Although, to be fair, I did know I was in there after it came out because a friend of mine tried to convince me to watch it, but the way they were doing it kind of just gave away I was in the video. So it's like I didn't expect to get put in a video, but I did know that I was in the video before I got the chance to watch it. Not for someone's lack of trying to not spoil it for me, right? But yes, I have no idea how to pronounce your name. Is it Contep? Is that right? Contep, the Ian VTuber? It looks like that might be a Vietnamese name. I have no idea how to pronounce that. But it says Obted sends her regards. I will have to remember to thank her. I don't know if she's still here. Captain Rudy says it's my go-to response whenever I see someone shitting on AI. Right? Oh my goodness. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, right? But just in case you're new here, I did a whole video on and if you want to suggest this to Ovted Fatash, I think they might have something to say about this, right? But I actually wrote a whole love letter to not just AI but all kinds of art technologies that actually would benefit artists if they actually like did their research and started using this. Denoise the Black Cathedral. This was an experimental art suite that I did, and yeah, I listen to this every time I come home from work. Just 22 minutes of just fucking industrial art metal using Vocaloid AI. So yeah, that was fun. Vietnamese, yeah. I took one look at the name and I was like, hold on. I have no idea how to say this, but I'm pretty sure I know where this name comes from. Kuntep. Okay, so it's Kuntep. Gotcha. Let's see. Kub Con Queso says, I didn't follow any kind of VTuber or AI artist until that video came out, so I'm discovering it all. Yeah, the two very, very distinct communities, right? The AI community and the VTuber community, but they're not going to be very distinct for long. Elf Harper. Oh, hello, Elf Harper. This LOL was an interesting thing to deal with during the day. Yeah, fair enough, right? I didn't get the opportunity to participate just because, again, y'all happened to do that like right when I was working, and I had to listen to two idiots debate in a debate. So, Captain Rudy says, plot twist, it's a psyop to attract the Goblin Girls. You're not going to let me live that down, right? How long until that becomes common knowledge in the community? Oh my god, right? So yeah, I did. If y'all really want something to know what I think about all this stuff, I put it all in Denoise the Black Cathedral. So if you can stand a 22-minute suite with a lot of false stops, which I did on purpose, by the way, because people keep complaining about like AI is gonna like destroy creativity and it's gonna destroy people's will to make. And it's like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna make something larger than anything you've ever made in your life. And I'm gonna actually put false stops in there. That way, again, every time you think it's over, there's more that we're making, right? So yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Nicola says, I'm very familiar with the overlap. Fair enough, right? All right. So as far as the live stream is going to continue, but this episode for the YouTube recording is definitely going to end because I stretched this out way longer than I intended. That being said, if you're on YouTube watching this, you have a lovely day, and I will see you next video.